Hey, how's it going? And welcome along. I'm Rory from Redmore. Hey, how's it going? And welcome along. I'm Rory from Rate My Funeral, and that was Rates, by the way. And I am back for another tech review, and I have been sent the Mingda D2 3D printer, and I'm super excited to have a go at it and do a bit of a review, Sorry, 1 minute. Hello? Really? You can't see that? Alright, hang on a minute then. No, it's fine. Okay, bye. Alright, sorry, I've made a bit of a mistake here. I'm not sure why. Apparently the printer isn't there. I thought that was it, but it's not. Hang on. I don't know what that was about. Right, anyway. Here we go! What am I doing? The Mingda D3 printer. And as you can see, we have here a box, because that's what it comes in. It says on it Mingda D2. We've got a bit of damage to the box. I'm hoping that it will be okay. Obviously this was something in transit. There's another slight dink round here, but hopefully it's fine. Now this is not a very expensive printer. I think currently it's sitting somewhere around about £240 on Amazon. Check the link in my description below and you can see exactly where you can pick this up from. Let's get on with opening it up. I need to find some way of opening it. Perhaps not. This'll do. And behold, polystyrene stuff. Woo! You want to see what's inside it? Look, look, check it out, check it out, check it out. Right, so that is how it looks in the box. Cool, right? Yeah, very good. Now, looks like we should be all right from damage. So yes, print bed, and let's see what else we have here. There's a little box of stuff. We'll have a look at it in a second. And I've got to figure out how this actually comes out of here. I think you just lift it. Do you just lift it? I think you just lift it. Nervous. Ah! Oh, it's connected. Oh, the base is down below and it's connected. Okay. So, I kind of... Right. Who would have thought I would have so much trouble just taking something out of a box? Right. I'm such an idiot. Why do people send me stuff to review? I don't know what I'm doing. I heard a bang. Right, we're going to lift it off like this. Oh, it's okay, it's okay. We're safe. It is obviously upside down now. We can soon flip this up the right way. Forgive if this is banging on the desk. We've got a thing there. Only at Rate My Funeral do we make unboxing something exciting, because you never know if I'm going to break it. Right, let's see. We need to get you out of there. Oh, that's the first bit. Quick note, this frame has oil on these. If you try and lift it by that, you'll get oily goo on your fingers, and it's not very nice. Just a tip, just a tip. Yeah. Okay, so what we have ended up here with is base frame, a box which I haven't looked in yet, and the print head and a power supply. So there is an element of assembly, but it seems pretty straightforward. Doesn't seem too bad. There's the connectors. Yeah, I reckon we can put this together pretty quickly without too much trouble. Inside of our little box, so we've got some filament. We've got an SD card, which is completely blank. Just a blank blue SD card. I have never seen one like that before. USB cable, a little spanner. We have some snips. Oh, I love a pair of snips. We have a scraper. So we've got some decent tools with this. There's a USB card reader. That's pretty cool, actually. Very useful. Some brackets, some kind of spannery thing, and a metal bar thing. So we just need to put it all together, I guess. Woohoo! However, from what I can see, there is no manual included. So I'm guessing there is a manual online which I could go and look at, or I could have a go at just doing it. There, I touched the goo again. So while it seems pretty straightforward to set up, I need to confirm exactly which screws go where. So I'm going to get the manual open, which I believe is on the SD card. So let's do that next. Our frame sits on the little grooves, and we need to screw that in using the Allen keys provided. Okay, so we're going to screw in from underneath here. This is actually going to be a little bit awkward. but we'll see. It might not be too bad. We hold this in position. Yeah. How am I going to do this? Okay. Right, I've just got the first couple of turns on here. But if you do have someone to hand, just ask them to come and hold this for you while you screw it in. It will just make everything a little bit easier. So on these side clips, it's the 2 short screws on the bottom and then the 2 longer ones on the top bit. Or bottom bit, depends which way up you have it. Okay, so we connect this little doodad here. Then there's 2 at the back of each side of these. That goes in like that. That one will go in like that. Now this little gizmo here will go over this. Now I've got 2 connectors there, which are going to go into this little switch. Sorry, you won't be able to see this very well, but there's a switch here, 2 connectors, and it's literally just a case of plumbing them in. And then there's this white one, which I guess goes into the back of the stepper motor here. The correct way round. There we go, so they're connected, and now I just need to screw that on there. So that's now on, that's all good. Next is to connect the print head to this part of the frame. So we want to make sure we're doing it the right way up, so something along those lines. So that is now attached and good. Next is the filament holder, which just goes on top like so. Okay, no problem. Boom. Right, that's that on. So I just had a quick look in the manual and it says about the fact that I need to make sure that both these sides are at 100 millimeters. So I'm just going to check this. So I'm going to use this little ruler I have here to position this. Okay, so that's at 100. And that is at 100. So in theory that bar is level. I think that is all I need to do. Next, I just need to power it up and see what it does. Problem is it comes with a Euro lead. What good is that to me in the UK? Now that I've sorted that out, we can just pop this into here and it comes alive. Okay, so quick summary, we have a heated bed with a removable magnetic print bed on it, which is good. We've got some form of lighting in the print head area, which I've never seen before. Interesting. And yeah, we're kind of ready to go, I think. I think we just need to do some initial calibration, right? Now it only came with a little bit of sample filament, so that's basically useless. So I'm going to use this Steady-Tech filament, which was sent to me when I reviewed the Steady-Tech Mini, and I also used it when I did the review of the Mingda D2. So we will pop it on there. Obviously we need to preheat the nozzle and come around the front here and have a look at this little touchscreen. Brought you around here so that you can see a little bit better as to what I am doing. Now this is quite an interesting looking touchscreen. It's pretty crisp, it's pretty clear. It's got a peely on it, but I'll leave that on for now. And it seems relatively straightforward. So here we can set the heat. So we're currently saying that we're going to set it to 180, but I'll set that to, let's say, 190, and I think it's doing it already. It is. It's already heating. Okay, so that was really straightforward. Also here we can set the heat of the print bed, the fan, the speed that the unit is printing at, which is nice. Print, so I'm guessing that was, yeah, insert your SD card and you can choose what to print from there. And there's a menu with a bunch more settings. Ah, excellent, okay. So in here we do have a filament sensor as well. So it's able to tell whether we've run out of filament. Nice, from such a cost-effective printer. That's pretty impressive actually. So we're nearly at the right temperature. So now I just need to put some filament into it. So just up here is our filament sensor. So I'm gonna push this through here. Okay, so I just had to jiggle it a little bit just to get it through there, and I've managed to get it through. You just push it through. Then you come down here and just poke it in through the hole in the top and push down on the lever. And then in theory, you just keep pushing until you see it coming out of the end of your hot end, which it is there. We can see it coming out now. Right, that is good and done, lovely. Okay, so my filament is loaded. Next I need to do the bed leveling. So let's have a look and see. Home. Right, so this is a bit too close, so I need to turn this screw to move it away, and I'm looking for that old bit of paper thing, there's a little bit of resistance, I imagine. So something along those lines. I think I have that now leveled. There's no auto leveling system or anything on this, so it is all manual, but hopefully that's okay. And let's just press home again and see what it does. Yep, all done, all leveled, seems to be absolutely spot on. So we'll now move on to setting up something to print out of it and see how it does with that. Will you join me now here over at the PC? And that is because I'm going to set something up to put on the SD card to print from it. So included on the SD card is the manual. There's a few STL files for some models, some pre-done G-codes that you could literally just print directly off the printer, a D2 test, so some more test G-codes. Again, you could just select these straight off the card. And then the Cura installation. Now the Cura is the slicer that you use to put your models in, which converts them into the G-code, which you then put into the printer. Now I'm not going to use Cura in this case because I've already got my Prusa slicer here, so I'm just going to use that, but the principle's basically the same. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this printer inside of here. So I need to create a new printer. So let's see how we do this. Add a new printer, and we need to choose which type. So let's just go next. So I'll now come down here, other vendors, no, custom printer. This is the one I want. So I'm going to define a custom printer and I'm going to call it the D2, and then firmware. That is fine as RepRap, I believe. So bed shape, rectangular, yes. So the width on the X is 230 and the depth is 230 as well, actually. Yeah, that's what the bed size is. And under the print diameters, it's a 0.4 nozzle. Filament is 1.75, that's fine. Temperature extrusion, we're probably looking at 200. Yeah, that's about fine. And our bed, let's put that to 60. As it says, rule of thumb, 60 for PLA, that should be fine. Next, filaments, yep, that's fine as is. We'll just keep pressing next, I think. Updates, whatever, next, finish, done. Okay, so now I should have an option. There we go, right. So in my drop down here, I now have the option for D2, which is grand. So yep, absolutely fine. That will do the job. Now let's drag and drop our benchy into there. And there we go. I always do a test print with a benchy. This is just the standard thing for me because that way I'm always, you know, measuring it from the same kind of thing. If I did a different model, then I wouldn't necessarily be able to compare. So I always do a benchy as my first print. It's a good model for stress testing. It's got some interesting shapes and some stuff, so it's good. And it's now repaired. So now that we have our benchy in there, I'm just going to hit slice now, and let's see what we get. Yep, we get a sliced model. Perfect. We scroll through that, we can see that that's how that's going to be built. Okay, fine. I'm just going to change the infill type from stars to reticular because I don't know why that was stars as default. Wow, look at that. Oh, it's tiny. I don't know, was that actually what I wanted? It might not be what I wanted. Grid. I think I meant grid. Yep, I meant grid. There we go, that's better. So, alright, wonderful. So that's our benchy. So I'm now going to export it. Apparently it's going to take around about an hour. So it'll be interesting to see if that comes in. So I'm just going to save it straight to the USB stick. And now we're good. We can eject the USB stick. I'm calling it a USB stick, it's an SD card. But now we can eject that and we can start printing from the printer. Right, I have my SD card with my file, so I will pop it into the little socket there. Why am I wonky? My desk's wonky. Now on the menu here, I assume I simply go to print, and there I can see the G code there, and that's now doing it. It's now going to preheat, and then it will start printing. Now with a bit of luck, this will just work first time with no real effort required, and we'll see what happens. So this is now printing, and I'm actually genuinely amazed at how quiet that is. Obviously you've got the fan noise. You can barely hear the movement of the print head at all. And there we have it. We have printed out our Benchy. I actually tell a bit of a lie there. I did do it twice because, to be honest, the first one didn't come out very well. It's okay, but yeah, definitely some slightly rough edges. I wasn't overly impressed, but I was convinced that it was to do with my slicer settings rather than the actual printer itself. So I set it going again. And this is the next one. So we'll pop that off the bed. And this one has printed out much better than the first one. I've got to admit, it's still not absolutely perfect, but I'm not completely convinced it's the printer's fault. I think with a bit of tweaking, you can get some really good prints out of this. I'm pretty positive of this. So yeah, as you can see, this one is much better than the first, and not a bad one at all. So overall, I would say that this is a really good budget printer. It's got a few limitations. Don't like the no auto leveling. I've got so used to that. The idea of leveling a bed now is horrific. It's got this removable print bed, which is a real bonus. The heated bed on, again, such a cheap printer is really good. The assembly, pretty straightforward. It was a little bit fiddly, but not really the end of the world. At the end of the day, this is a hobby that involves tinkering. You should never get into 3D printing expecting it just to be plug and play and everything works fine. We are an awful long way from that being the case. There's always going to be some tweaking, and to be fair, that's the joy of the hobby. That's what makes it so much fun. What I would mention though is I really do wish that these threaded rods that are on the back were somehow covered up, because I got it all over my hands when I took it out of the box, which meant that everything became slippery and it made it that little bit more tricky to put together, that I just don't think it needed to be. Also the fact that it's got a filament sensor, so it can detect when you've run out of filament and pause the print so that you can carry on. Again, really good feature for such a well-priced printer. So yeah, overall I would say this is a perfect beginner's printer. If you're getting started in the hobby, this is a really good place to start because you won't spend a lot of money, but you'll get a good number of the features. Then as you get more confident with it, progress, then start looking into the more expensive ones that come with those quality of life features such as the mesh leveling of the brochure or giant beds or whatever. So as I mentioned earlier, check out in the description below and you'll see a link on where you can pick one of these things up. And I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do make sure you hit that like button. Also, if you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit that little bell, and that way you'll get notified whenever I put up a new video. And I guess all that is left for me to say is bye for now. No, it's fine. Okay, bye. Alright, sorry, I've made a bit of a mistake here. I'm not sure why. Apparently the printer isn't there. I thought that was it, but it's not. Hang on. What am I doing?